time for the next lesson. Class is in session. So these are the lessons that I've learned from previous relationships and or situationships and or my marriage. So the lesson right now is sex without intimacy is trash. And I actually have a full podcast coming out shortly, soon, next month, really detailing my journey with celibacy and intimacy and how I feel about it. But in the spirit of learning lessons in this mini-series, I'll touch on it a little bit. This is what I've learned. And, everybody may not be there, but the lesson that I've learned is sex without intimacy is pure trash. It's a waste of time. It's actually a waste of time. And I think that, sex it's important to me. So that is a big part of the relationships. Having sex is going to happen when I'm in a relationship with someone or, together with someone. And when you just lack that connection, when you're not having any type of intimacy, and when I say intimacy, I'm not just speaking about foreplay, I'm speaking about the connection, the vibe, the interaction, the conversations, the touch, the senses being, all of your senses being, aroused, and just everything that has to do with intimacy. It could be just the way we look at each other, just the way we talk, the fact that we have safe space with each other, that we can share things, that we can grow together, that we can cook together, we can learn together. I can learn from you, you can learn from me. Like, the list goes on of what I consider to be intimacy. But I've had some experiences where intimacy was highly lacking, and sex without intimacy is just garbage. So I feel like, that connection needs to be had prior to going to that next step when it comes to meeting someone new. Like, people think that, okay, we met and it was so passionate and we, just had this one night stand and all of this. And I've been there, done that. But even more so than just the passion and the lust and all of that, like, the connection is very important for me. Like, do you actually care about me? Is there some type of love there? Are we just going off of, the physical attraction and, the vibe? Not even just the vibe is necessary for great sex, in my opinion. Like, really just getting to know someone and having an intimate, deep relationship and connection and trust is very huge when it comes to that intimate part of a relationship. When when women get to having attitudes and, it's just something that you can't figure out, sometimes it's just that lack of intimacy. And it could be sex, but it could be deeper than that. Like, if you're getting empty sex where it's just like, okay, like Mr. was doing Celie, he just do his business on top of me. I don't want that. That's not what any woman wants, and any man either. So I feel like, my journey with celibacy was needed for me to even learn what intimacy looks like for me, to establish that prior to trying to learn it through a relationship. There were so many things that I've had to learn about myself and grow within my sensuality and my sexuality. As an individual, as a single person, just learning myself, learning more about intimacy. I've read some great books like The Spirit of Intimacy, just learning more about Tantra and Kama Sutra and different things that give you a deeper connection to our sexuality. And learning about sexuality and spirituality and how they intertwine, how they're one and the same. So I feel like, when you get to a certain level, that meaningless sex is just not going to work. And bad sex is just not going to work. And I think that bad sex can be treated, because we going to call that a damn disease. Having bad sex within a relationship, it can be cured. Let's say it can be cured. But both parties have to be willing to do that. Both parties have to be willing to do the work. Both parties have to be open to communication, to listening, to exploring, to diving deeper within themselves and into their partner. No pun intended with the deeper, but but being in relationships where somebody is being a selfish lover, being in relationships where someone is being a selfish lover, or they're uninterested in finding out and discovering what makes you pleased, what pleases you, what is lacking, not being open to receiving feedback, and to also, outside of receiving the feedback, to doing something about it. Making sure you're healthy, making sure that you are attentive, making sure that you are happy and things like that, because when you have a lot of depression and dark energy and stress and all of those things, and you're not taking care of that, but you're bringing it to the bedroom to unleash and to release into your partner, that's unfair as well. So there's so many things that goes into this whole conversation. Again, I'm doing a full podcast on it, but that is my lesson of the day. Intimacy lacking in sex without intimacy, trash. So stay tuned for the full episode where I'm going deeper into this conversation. Comment your thoughts on this, and make sure you like and share this video. Make sure you check out the description so you can get your copy of How to Be Single, and I shall talk to you later.